As you may already know, Microsoft has employed some pretty intrusive tactics in order to collect your private data from your computer. With the default Windows settings, Microsoft can obtain search history, hardware information, song and video descriptions, content IDs, and they can even tailor custom ads based on your browsing history. Now, if you're like me, you probably don't want anybody other than yourself to be in control of your private information. The problem is Microsoft really hasn't given us any options in order to disable this, what some people can arguably call spyware. But as you may have guessed, there's a pretty quick and simple way to get around this. So the program is called Destroy Windows 10 Spying. Now, there's a lot of other programs that do arguably the same thing, but I like this software for reasons I'll get into later. So just go ahead and download that. It's just a small exe file. Open it. Alright, so if you come over to the settings here, you can see all these different options you can enable or disable. So if you go and click enable professional mode. So the things you may want to change. First of all, it on default disables Windows Defender. If you use Windows Defender, obviously you want to uncheck that. I wouldn't recommend using it alone, but if you do, go ahead and leave it off. It sets the default program to Windows Photo Viewer. The reason it does that is because it deletes the new Metro app called Photos. I do like the Windows Photo Viewer program better, but if you have another viewer that you want to set that's not Photos or Windows Photo Viewer, go ahead and uncheck that if you want to. I'm going to leave it on. You can also delete all Windows 10 Metro apps, and if you don't know what those are, they're the apps that we've had since Windows 8 that you can go to the store and purchase or download. I personally don't use them, and I'm sure many of you don't either, but as you can see at the bottom, it says Metro applications are deleted permanently without possibility of recovery. So if you change your mind at some point, maybe, I don't know, they change it up completely, you'd have to completely reinstall Windows to get it back. So for now, I'm going to leave that off as the default. It does create a system restore point. I would recommend leaving that on just in case anything happens. And you definitely want to leave all three of these on. These, I'll get into what this exactly does with redirecting things to the host file after the run is through, but let's go ahead and run this. And this may take a while. And they do want you to restart afterward, but I'm just going to go ahead and click no for right now. So I'll just show you the rest of this program. So you can also disable the Office telemetry. So obviously if you have Microsoft Office 2016, you don't want to delete that, but if you don't have Office and you don't plan on getting Office, I would go ahead and disable it now. And then here you can actually disable and re-enable Windows Update. Now, this can be helpful if you're working on like a big project and you don't want to have to deal with the Windows Update, because this is really the only way you can turn it off other than going and editing your registry. But for security reasons, you want to keep Windows up to date. So we will leave that enabled for right now. You can also come over here and disable the UAC. That's up to you. A lot of people use it for security reasons. I find it kind of annoying, so I leave it disabled. You can also come over here and delete the OneDrive. That's up to you. I don't use it, and I only like to have things that I use on my computer, so I'll go ahead and delete this. It'll take a second. And then there it is. If I go over here No more OneDrive on my computer. And then again, they give you another option to delete the Windows 10 Metro apps. Yeah, see, what I would recommend is just going into add or remove programs and then manually selecting which ones you want to keep and which ones you want to get rid of. Me personally, I barely use any of them, but I do use the calculator app for some reason. I don't know. So let's open up the host file, and I'll show you basically what this program does best. So as you can see here, this is all of the ways that Microsoft will collect your information, and they'll send you advertisements through these. So what it has done is it's compiled a list of all of these things that take information from you, and they redirected it to 0.0.0, which is nothing. So as you might know, Windows 10 actually has a feature, if you can call it that, where it uses your computer's bandwidth and your hard drive, and it will act as a peer-to-peer service to help other people install Windows 10 updates. So that has been redirected to 0.0.0, so they can no longer use your computer's resources without your knowledge. So I think that's great. There was never an easy way to really disable that until now. So that about wraps it up for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.